Tell you what, it's a lot better when you win coming in here than when you lose. I can assure you that. How's everybody doing tonight? It's a great Thursday night here at Georgia State Stadium. First win in this stadium has got to feel good. I'm telling you what, but we sure do make it interesting, don't we? I mean, we really do. We like to keep what people were here in their seats, I can tell you that. Let me just say our defense played a phenomenal football game. I mean, they really did. I mean, they had them on their heels all game long. I mean, in the secondary, our linebackers, our defensive front just made plays all night. You know, you hate to see that throw there at the end. And you know, we can't let that happen. I mean, come on. We can't let that happen. But, you know, that shouldn't overshadow a great effort and a great win. And offensively, we did enough to go out there and put the points up on the board to make it stand. And fought very, very hard. I mean, fought very, very hard. South Alabama's a well-coached football team. And you know, they came in knowing exactly what we did. I mean, we were both 2-1 in the conference. And pretty much this eliminated someone, you know, to tell you the truth. It eliminated. And we were able to fight and outlast them. I mean, now they got 2 conference losses. I told our team in there, I said, you know, everything that we want to accomplish, everything that we've set as our goals, and we haven't set a whole lot of goals, but I just want you to understand they're all obtainable. We still get to move forward. I mean, and strive to be where we want to be. But we've got to clean a lot of stuff up. You know, I mentioned to our guys a little bit in there. I said, you know, we're capable of making big plays, but when we do that, we need to understand how to act. That penalty there on the interception was one of the most foolish things I've seen. And to tell you the truth, I probably more upset just thinking about that and how it affected the outcome of the game and us had to fight there at the end because we should have had points on the board and been able to kind of make them spit the bit out, so to speak, right there at the end. But it didn't happen. We didn't handle the success with that interception. We acted a little out of character, but we're going to get that accomplished and that corrected and move forward. Any questions?
Yeah, Coach, great win. Seems like you were trying to get Penny a little more involved in the game. Could you talk about a little bit more about that? Maybe certain plays you called to get him open?
Well, I mean, you know, they're playing a lot of man, and we put him in the backfield a little bit to free release him out there on some linebackers to get him some looser coverage. We didn't feel like they could match up, so anytime they go man coverage, and we put that personnel in the game and have him in the backfield, that kind of isolates him one-on-one with a backer, and kind of got him in the backfield a few times to run the football as well. But, you know, we got to find ways to target him. He's a fantastic football player. He's electric when he gets the ball in his hands, and he makes things happen. So, yeah, we've got to certainly create more opportunities for him.
Coach, you doubled your rushing yards from last game. Could you speak on?
No idea.
Yeah, 114. You had 51 last week.
Yeah.
But could you speak on the offensive line play? It seemed to gel a lot more than it did last game.
You know, it's about momentum. You know, you typically just don't start the game and overpower someone. You got to get in a rhythm. And a lot of times that's, you know, developing the run and staying with the run a little bit more. But, you know, we have such playmakers on the edge. I mean, with Penny, it's hard to stay in there as much as we'd like to. And we're not gifted at running back. I'll just go ahead and tell you, we're not. I mean, we're not. I mean, sometimes they're running blind back there. But they play hard. They play hard. And we're going to develop our running game and keep trying to get better at that and having our backs understand fronts and having our line push people off the ball. But, yeah, they did. They did a good job in protection, our offensive line. And then when we had to there, they were pushing them off the ball.
When it comes to the intensity that you start out the game with, how do you coach that? Because last week we saw it kind of heightened at the beginning of the game and then kind of dipped down. But for tonight, it seemed to really carry on strong throughout. You know, guys just really being dominant and excited.
Yeah, I think it's a message for myself. It's a message from our players to one another. You know, they got to understand that. Listen, we've got it all on the line. They've got to go out. We can't come out lackadaisical. We've got to come out and we've got to stay juiced the entire game to have an opportunity to go and succeed. And they did that. And the guys, our non-travel guys that were there tonight, did a phenomenal job on our sideline. I mean, staying just having our bench really, really hype and keeping the momentum going. It was good to see. And you talk about it, and you know, we dressed 64 or 5 players, whatever it was, and everybody has a role on our football team. I mean, it's not just an offensive guard that plays 50 snaps. It's those individuals that played on that look team all week that came out here and were waving those towels and getting hype on the sideline. Those guys are as much a part of this win as anybody. And I'm just proud of how everybody on that bench kept it going throughout the course of the game. There wasn't any dragging of a head after a bad play. It was all positive energy.
Coach, talk about the player Jerome Smith at corner. It seems like people don't really try him, but they tried to go at him right there in the fourth quarter. He made 2 great plays down there in the end zone. Just talk about his play.
I will tell you this: I thought Jerome played one of his best ball games tonight. You know, I'm really hard on those corners, to tell you the truth. I mean, I really am. I mean, I'm hard on them because, you know, I like guys to be physical and tough, and they are. But you know, he played an exceptional game, and I was proud to see him go out there and compete and keep his head up. You know, sometimes at that corner position, that head can drag a little bit and get the best of you. When that thing drops just an inch, it can get the best of you. But, man, his head was high all night, and he was playing with great effort, and I was proud to see it.
Coach, congrats again on the win tonight.
Thank you.
First win in Georgia State Stadium.
Yes, it is. Could you say that again, please?
First win.
Yes.
In Georgia State Stadium.
Exactly.
I remember during the last press conference after the game versus Troy, you said you were a little disappointed with, you know, the red zone performance of your team.
Yeah.
Well, tonight you guys are 3 for 3 in the red zone.
Yeah.
What was the biggest difference for you guys tonight?
I mean, execution has got to be the key. But I think when I walked out of here after that press conference, or at some point, I said, we got to go immediately and start working on our red zone plan. And you know, so much of it is just willpower, to tell you the truth. It's those 5, 6, 7 guys up front. You know, we're able to run the football in there. And sometimes it's just willing yourself to get in and not being denied. And tonight they weren't denied.
Coach, you talked about moving forward earlier in your statement, and you all didn't allow any huge plays except for the last touchdown, and you all had big plays today in comparison to last week. How are you all going to move forward again in preparation for the next week?
I'm going to keep my hand on the back of their neck, and we're going to push hard. That's how we're going to do it. And these coaches are going to do the exact same thing. Like I said, we can't worry about success and somebody telling us we did a good job. And you know, when you win, you need to be more as hard on them as you can. I mean, and that's just what we got to do. Like I said, we can't give our football team an inch. We've got to keep striving. We've got to, you know, this win is good and everything, but it just sets us up for the next opponent, the next contest, the next opportunity. So we got to keep pushing. Like I said, I got to keep my foot on them.
Coach, how do you feel about these quick turnaround games, having a game, you know, following the Troy game on Saturday, suddenly you have to turn around in almost 3.5 days, it seems like, and get ready for South Alabama?
We won 21. What was the score? 21-13? Is that what it was? I love them, man. I love them. It's great. Now, to tell you the truth, you know, I thought it would be a little bit tough on our players, but we really didn't change anything. I mean, we gave them Sunday off. We practiced Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then today we brought them over to our facility, and what a beautiful day. Got them out there and had a little walk through, and really did everything we normally do. And normally after Thursday, it's just a waiting game. You know, it's just a waiting game. You wait around. I kind of like them. I kind of like them, to tell you the truth.
And then just one last one. How does it feel to be able to smile from here to the next game?
Well, I can tell you one thing. I'll probably smile tonight, and I'll wake up in the morning, I'll watch the film, and then I'll get grumpy all over again. But I'm going to smile tonight. And I'm not one of those coaches that think, hey, I got to go jump on this thing right away. You've got to enjoy these wins. I want our football team to enjoy wins. A lot of people talk about winning ugly. It doesn't matter. Nobody remembers the ugly wins. They remember the W's at the end of the day, and we should celebrate those things. They only give you 12 opportunities, and this year we've only got 11 opportunities. So let's go out and make the most of it. Let's enjoy tonight, but be smart in doing it and get back to work tomorrow.
Hey, Coach, just had a quick question about you had a commanding lead at the beginning of the game, and then they kind of got back into it towards the end, and especially with that onside kick that they made. I just want to know, what was the message, and what did you emphasize to your guys to keep focus and come away with the W tonight.
Yeah, at that point, when they get the onside, by the way, and I was calling timeout, standing right beside the official calling timeout while they were kicking it, but you just got to go out and dig deep. You got to find something deep in your heart, and you got to understand we're going to get the job done. And like I said, it could have been very, very easily for our guys to drop their heads a little bit and not stay focused and fight, but they kept their heads up and they moved forward and got the win. Got the win.
Coach, I'm just looking forward a little bit to next week. You get your first taste of the rivalry, so what are your kind of initial thoughts going into the game so far, like right now? And then also, Southern's having a down year, but it'll make their season to beat you guys. So what is the message you're telling your team going into this week that even though they're still down, they're still going to bring their best shot?
Listen, 15 minutes ago, we just got a big win over South Alabama. Like I said, I'm going to enjoy this win. Okay, we're going to wake up tomorrow and we're going to talk about Georgia Southern. I'll worry about that tomorrow. I'll worry about my message to the team tomorrow. But right now, we're going to enjoy the win, and we understand what it's about. I mean, trust me. Just because I'm at Georgia State doesn't mean I haven't been against Georgia Southern for a lot of years. So I know exactly what it's about. But you got to go in and you got to enjoy these things. Like I said, they don't happen very often. So we're going to go and we're going to make the most of it, be smart in doing it, and we're going to wake up, and then our focus is going to be turned on them.
Brian.
So,
All right, man. I spoke to you earlier, this year about, you being the first 6-year senior in Georgia State history. I also spoke to you about, being a leader on this defensive team. You're obviously proving that, you're capable of being that leader. What has been your mindset, going into these games, night in, night out, and performing at a high level?
first of all, I just like to thank God. But besides that, my mindset is just make sure our team is ready, especially with this short week we had. We just played Saturday, and we just had a game on Thursday. Just to make sure the guys are level-headed, just to know that this is a big season for us. We playing good right now. We setting ourselves good in the Sun Belt. We like number 2 right now, 2-1, whatever it is. But we just got to know that after today we can celebrate. Tomorrow it's on to next week game, and just keep the guys motivated, keep playing with a chip on their shoulder.
Obviously, congratulations on the records you now hold here.
Appreciate it.
What kind of looks were they giving you guys? Was it what you guys had seen on film, or were you guys just able to easily adjust to see what they were trying to do?
We seen them looks on film, and we also seen them looks in practice. Officer coordinator do a good job with helping us see those looks in practice, so it came second nature. They really didn't do too much that we didn't see on film or that we didn't see in practice. So for us to fly around, what we call like 2 picks today, for the DBs to catch 2 picks, it was big. It was really huge.
Hey, great win, Ryan.
Appreciate it.
Take us onto the field. Could you give us a little bit of insight onto the interception? Like, what was your coverage?
It was a 3-by-1 set. We was playing quarters. I had the key to tight end. He curled around. The ball went through his hands and popped up in the air, and I'm just thankful God put me in a good position to be right there to catch the ball and make a play on it.
Explain the feeling of getting to sit next to your brother, having the first win at Georgia State Stadium.
Go ahead. It's lovely. I mean, just to be able to get that win is everything, making history. I preach that a lot with our team, make history, and, be able to get this win here is really big for us.
Y'all have been like the dynamic duo this year, just tearing it up in the stat column. I just want to know, what is it about the chemistry that you guys have, and do you work on that outside of practice?
I guess I'll do it. I think a lot of it has to do with chemistry that we develop off the field. We do a lot of stuff. We hang out together. We go eat, take care of my boys. So it's some of the stuff is that, and then the other is just, I know what he's going to do on the field. He knows what I'm looking at. So it's right now we do a good job of moving him around. And getting some mismatches, get him the ball.
Hey, Connor. Today it seemed like you were getting the ball out a lot more quicker. Are there any talk about you holding on to the ball too long, maybe after the Troy game or a couple of other losses?
I don't know if that was necessarily the main point. It was just me executing my job to best abilities.
And I felt like for the most part, we executed on some things. We still left a lot. We had a couple drives that we kind of stalled out. But for the most part, we executed, and we, converted in the red zone on some things, which was big for us to put up 6 instead of 3.
Connor, yeah, speaking on that, how important is it to get that first drive to go down and get a touchdown to kind of settle the offense down?
Yeah, it was big for us. I mean, shout out to our defense. They played a tremendous game. They were flying around. They have, the other team, their quarterback, he can make plays. And for the most part, we controlled them. And, shout out to our defense. They put us in a great field position that first drive, and, it was our job to go down there and score.
Hey, guys, I have a question, one for each of you. I'll start with you, Connor. As the quarterback, of this team, you take a lot of criticism when the offense doesn't necessarily perform well. But, you still come in and you do your job. How do you, block out the outside noise and not become discouraged?
Yeah, I think I can only worry about what I can control. And for me, it's doing my job and making sure we're on the same page out here on Saturdays or Thursday nights, so that we can go out here and execute. So the main focus is just on us as a team. The last week was disappointing, but we rallied. It was a quick turnaround, and we were focused on, because South, they had a tremendous defense. They had a lot of really good players in the secondary that we had to kind of key on, and we had a great week of practice, and it kind of showed on tonight.
And Penny, obviously you're not the biggest guy out there on the field, but you I have to say, man, you're a dog out there. You show a lot of heart. And with Robert not here in the receiving corps anymore, you've really stepped up and been that leader. Describe, how you go into each game and perform at a high level for your team offensively.
I think for me, just my goal this year was to, for myself, prove to myself, that I was able to do what I did my freshman year and even better, and just get better each and every game. But, as a leader of this team, no matter if it's 0 catches, whatever it is, when we get that win, I feel like, my most important, asset of me as a person is my leadership and me being able to get our team to where we needed to be. But, it's just amazing to be able to play with these guys, and as resilient as we are as a team, I really appreciate every single one of these guys, and, this guy being able to get me the ball and the type of connection that we have.
This is kind of a double question for both of you. You guys can decide who goes first. First of all, what do you guys think about these quick turnaround games, these Thursday games? And secondly, how does going against such a great defensive backcourt in practice prepare you guys to go against the Sun Belt and the rest of college?
I say going against Shannon Sullivan and Jerome Smith, for the past 3 years that I've been here, it's almost like when you step out on the field against somebody else, you've seen everything you could possibly see. You've seen every single jam you could possibly see. You've seen any footwork that you could possibly see. And it's, those are the best 2 DBs that I've ever went up against. And it shows, with me being able to play the way I do, and also giving us good looks throughout practice, and us having to make difficult throws on them with limited space and everything. They really prepare us well, on that back end. But, it's just a matter of us doing what we have to do each and every week and getting in the film room. I give a lot of credit to Nick Arbuckle, Connor, Aaron Winchester, Madeline Marshall. Those guys help me to be the best player that I can be, in that film room, and then also putting it out on the field.
Can you reiterate your question?
It was about the quick turnaround of Thursday games and then going against the defensive backs in practice.
It's difficult. It's taxing, I guess, on your body, but I kind of enjoyed it because it made us move on from Troy real quickly. And our complete focus was on South right after that game. So it's not that bad. We got the W, so I can't really hate on it too much. But I felt like offensively, and especially our whole team, what we do in practice, going against our defense, it builds us for these games to where that we can go out there and just try to go out there and play fast and execute, because we're getting, really tough looks against our defense during practice.
All right, guys. First of all, congrats on the win. First win in team history. Well, at the new stadium.
Yeah.
But you guys will enjoy the win tonight. But we all know what's coming next week, the rivalry, and I know having friends maybe at Southern, it's gonna be kind of a tight week and an exciting week. So just kind of like, what's your excitement level, and how do you handle that not getting too high, and also knowing that they don't have as good of a team as they may have had in the past, still going out there with your best foot forward, knowing that they're bringing their best shot.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna enjoy this one tonight. Anytime you get a W, you gotta enjoy it because they're not easy to come by. But we know who we got next week. They're gonna be ready to play, and we'll be ready to play too.
Penny, you talked about being a leader and your work and you working hard. And I saw on one play you got a little angry. You just like slapped your leg on the opposite sideline when the ball was like out of your reach just a little bit. But you all reconnected on the back shoulder throw. Can you talk about what you saw in the DB and why and what made you turn around?
Well, I knew they were probably going to give me the outside on that touchdown. I tried to walk him up a little bit to see where his leverage was going to be playing, and he was playing hard inside. So I went outside, and I wasn't necessarily able to get over the top of him, and I knew Connor was going to throw a back shoulder. So, I mean, like he said, us being able to connect and me know what he's doing and he's knowing what I'm doing each and every play, it makes for a great connection to be able to put touchdowns and points on the board like that.